And the final one that I want to talk about today, and we're probably not going to have much of an opportunity to review, is what I call one more thing. One more thing. Because I want to be able to have today be more than yesterday. So I want you to think about this conceptually, because nowadays, again, especially uniquely in the COVID-19, what we find is people are doing less, right? They're going to less networking. They're not going into their office. They're, less interactions. They're, less lunches, less coffees, less everything. Everything is less coming across the board. And what ends up happening is you've got that doom loop, right? As you do less, you do less, you do less. Because you're doing less, you get less, and you get less, and you get less as it goes down. What I'm going to encourage all of my clients to do is what I call one more thing. What's one more thing that you can do today that you didn't do yesterday? Now, what that means is that it doesn't mean that as you add this on, right, you're now going into the next day and you're doing that too. Because at the end of the year, if you did it every single day, you'd now be doing 365 new things that you've never done before. And that may not be practical. Again, time is the issue for us to control. One more thing basically says is do one thing that you don't do, that you've never done, right? Just to see what happens in that regard. It could be take a different route home from work, right? It could be, slip a business card or a brochure or something like that into the doorway of a business. Maybe put a flyer into the windshield wiper of the car next to you at the grocery store. The idea of one more thing basically positions your life on an ever-increasing basis. You're always doing more. Today you've done more than yesterday, even in an environment which basically has now robbed us of a lot of what we were doing. The idea of one more thing is a behavior, right? And what I find is these aren't like hour-long things. Generally, it's very, very small. It's something so simplistic and so easy to do that it's often overlooked. But it has wonderful consequences by bringing in the one more thing. So let me give you a couple of examples of what one more thing could be. And again, you want to bring these into your minimum daily requirements. So one of your minimum daily requirements, it could be one more thing. All right? And it could be even defined further. One more thing to make my family happy. One more thing to make my coworkers happy. One more thing to make my boss happy. Right? One more thing for my Lord. One more thing for my neighbors. Again, you get to pick, but it's one more thing. And it has that level of specificity because it's built into your minimum daily requirements. And it's interesting because I often tell people, if you want better kids, be a better parent. Right? You want a better boss, be a better employee. Right? You want better employees, be a better boss. Right? You want a better spouse, be a better spouse. Right? You want better parents? Fine, be a better kid. You want better neighbors? Be a better neighbor. We control all of those things on our behaviors. And yet we generally do nothing to forward any of those interests. We're okay for it to be kind of on autopilot. And we wonder why we don't have those fulfilling relationships with our neighbors or our coworkers. We never seem to connect with our boss, right? You never seem to be able to really make that connection with the kids, right? Or your parents don't understand you. Right? No. If you want better anything, be the better anything. And that one more thing, that one more concept built into your minimum daily requirements. And that's why when I tell people, you can have 20 or 30. You could have a minimum daily requirement that says, one more thing for my neighbors. Right? It could be something very simple. It doesn't have to be a lot, right? You go to the store and you buy some flowers, fine. Buy an extra little plot of flowers for $5 for them. Said, hey, these were on sale. I thought that you'd like them. I know you like flowers. What do you think that will do to your relationship? I will tell you that every time I've done that, I've gotten it, I say 10 times over. Now, it may not be 10 times over monetarily, right? But I get it back 10 times over. Why? Because people nowadays are so starved for connection that anything you do, the bar is just so low, anything that you do, it is looked at with far more resonance than it generally would because of a lot of the circumstances that we're in.